Why is it so taboo for people to spend their breaks alone? At first I thought it was just my particular coworker. She takes my need to spend my lunch hour alone personally. It's not in the least. I love to read and I love quiet. Since I obviously can't read during work hours because I have to work, and my job as a service representative is to handle almost all incoming phone calls and emails, I absolutely have to have some quiet alone time midday or I will lose my mind. I do not want to sit with my coworkers and listen to them talk about their family, friends, work. Anyway, my coworker apparently doesn't like this. Thinks I ought to spend, at least some lunches, with them. Too bad though. It's not happening. Well, I'm finding out it's actually quite common that people who prefer to spend their breaks alone are looked down on, gossiped about, even harassed about it. My question is why? Seriously. Why the hell do people care that much someone they work with wants to read a book, listen to some music, whatever, instead of spend more time socializing with their colleagues? Is it really that big a deal? The fact that some people simply don't want to spend their free time with their colleagues, especially given how many hours a day we already have to communicate with them, shouldn't be that difficult to comprehend. And we especially shouldn't be harassed or gossiped about over it. Like in my situation, we're here to work, not make friends. If you want to socialize with your colleagues during your free time, that's fine. I do not want to. And that's also fine. I have my own friends. I'm here to earn a paycheck and go home. I value my personal time. And my 1 hour break is just as much personal time as my evenings and weekends. Why can't we spend our breaks alone? Quote, because you must network. Quote, me, a spider, in the middle of the net, planning on paralyzing, dissolving and eating all of my colleagues. Half the people I met in an office setting are narcissists that want desk buddies to listen to their weekend plans. I don't pay it any mind and spend every second of my alone time alone. They're lonely, bored, attention-seeking or whatever else. I don't trust them. I don't get this either. So many people at my work, even though we're all in the lunchroom together, don't talk to each other for more than a couple minutes. We can have 510 people in there for breaks and we're all buried in our own worlds. Phones, books, puzzles. It's great. There are a few too who never ever come to the lunchroom. Like, who cares? We see each other for 58 hours depending on the shift. We don't have to spend another 3,060 minutes talking. These are the people that can't be alone by themselves and be happy about it. For them it is a huge deal simply because they are so uncomfortable alone. Discrimination against introverts. You constantly see Vogue and Cosmo articles about how to be more outgoing. ECT. Tell me how many self-help articles you have seen coaching people on how to STFU and mind their business. I'd legit tell that coworker if she wants me to spend lunch with her, she can either buy me lunch or get bent. Misery loves company. Some of these people treat being at work as the high point of their day, because they hate what their home life has become. I think it's extreme extroverts or people that live alone. No partner, no kids, few friends, who use work as their main source of human interaction. Most work settings punish introverts. Our American, Western culture exalts extroverts and expects everyone else to adapt. It's exhausting for this introvert. I escape and hide whenever I can. I don't care what anyone else thinks. Generally, corporate environments like team players because we are family. I am very much a loner and like my lunch hour to myself. I can't stand idle chit-chat. I am not at work to make friends. I am at work to earn money to support my family and hobbies. I usually will walk to a park near my work in good weather to eat my lunch, specifically to avoid having a coworkers invite themselves to share a lunch space with me. I have found that the best way to overcome the negative connections with this is to always be organized and have your work documented. Make sure your work is done on time and at expectations. This is also particularly helpful to justify raises or to limit new work being assigned to you outside of your offer sheet. Sure, I can do that. Which of these tasks would you prefer I sideline to take that up? Quote. I assume that they have an elementary school mentality and assume if you take breaks alone, it means that nobody likes you and you have been forced to do that. Like you are at elementary school at lunchtime and other kids don't want to sit at the same table as you, or they are highly offended that you turned down their invitation. At one of my past jobs, somebody had to stay back at breaks to answer any potential phone calls. I preferred to take my breaks alone so I could read. My coworkers all like to go together, so it was the perfect situation for all of us. They understood my need to be alone, so we all got what we wanted. For some reason, this offended my supervisor. She wrote in my yearly review that I refused to break with the others. I asked her where in my job description where it said I needed to take my unpaid breaks with other people and why it would even matter if everybody was happy with the situation. The phones were being covered during work hours and all work was being completed. I was probably more productive because my introverted self got to decompress for a little bit. Your coworker is an extrovert. You're more introverted. You get fatigued by constant interactions and need a break at lunchtime to recover. Explain to your coworker that it's like being on a treadmill all day at work. Lunchtime quiet time is your only break from the treadmill. If you want to reassure them it's nothing personal, pop by towards the end of break and spend 5 minutes catching up with them each day. I feel you. I have a coworker who sits in a cube right next to me. Talks to me all day long. She gets offended that I eat lunch by myself or will go walk on the treadmill during breaks. I just need time to decompress. I'm not friends with these people. The answer is, everyone is different and everyone thinks that other people are just like them. From my point of view, the question is, why do I care what other people think? Tell your coworker that you need quiet time between sessions. That should be enough. Your boss and your HR department understand that some people need quiet time to reset between sessions. That you are free to do what you want with your lunch break. If the harassment gets out of hand, then bring it up with your boss. If that does not work, then bring it up with our. How am I supposed to read a book with loud people around trying to talk to me? Coworker. Did you know that some people are introverts and some people are extroverts? Introverts recharge their batteries by having alone time. But extroverts recharge their batteries by being around people. I need to take care of me and I need a little alone time on break so I'm back to being able to work with the customers with a smile on my face. I understand you might want to talk to someone during break, but that's just not something I'm gonna be able to help you with. It's not taboo, it's just curse of the dominant extroverts. On my first day at my first job out of college, I decided to take my lunch break at my desk because my fiancé had the car and the break room wasn't available for some reason. I put my phone to voicemail and sat there eating my lunch and reading a magazine until I noticed both of my coworkers looking at me like I had a head injury. Apparently they found it offensive that a salaried employee needed a break. Every day after that I left the office, and if I didn't have a car I just took a long walk. Don't know if it's a coincidence, but I've seen this topic a lot in many different subs in the last few days. I prefer to have lunch alone. I need the quiet to recharge for the afternoon. When I worked in the office, I spent every single break and lunch alone. This is my time to decompress.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.